Most people think when a person breaks out of jail, they vanish into the shadows. They don't call home. They don't stop for fast food. They don't log on to social media. They disappear. They hide. They do whatever it takes to stay free. But somehow, in the middle of all that chaos, DJ Vlad thought it made sense to send out a public invitation for a sit-down interview with the inmates who had just escaped from the Orleans Parish jail. He offered them a chance to tell their story on VladTV while they were still actively being hunted by law enforcement. And that's where this whole thing takes a wild, almost ridiculous turn. It all started with a real prison break. Not a movie, not a joke. Real inmates in Louisiana busted out of jail and sprinted across the highway like their lives depended on it. And they probably did. In total, 10 men got out. 4 have already been caught. The other 6 are still out there, somewhere trying to avoid being caught. That's a story on its own. That's already the kind of thing people talk about for years. But instead of letting the dust settle or waiting to see how things play out, Vlad took to Twitter and invited the escapees to be guests on his show. He promised them they'd be legends for telling their story. He said they'd get legend status for doing the interview, as if sitting down with Vlad while running from police was something any sane fugitive would prioritize. People started roasting Vlad almost immediately. Not in private, not in secret. Right there under his post, thousands of people pointing out the obvious, how reckless, tone-deaf, and downright suspicious it sounded. Some were calling it the most fed tweet ever. Others said it sounded like a trap. Like Vlad was dangling a camera in front of desperate men just to score a few million views. And let's be honest, it does feel like that. Because when you're running from the law, the last thing on your mind is giving a viral interview. Nobody is checking Twitter and thinking, you know what would really help me right now? A sit down with Vlad. That's where this whole thing gets uncomfortable. People have accused Vlad for years of being too close to law enforcement. Some say he's gotten rappers locked up. Others say he frames questions in ways that feel like interrogations. Now, inviting fugitives to come on his platform while they're actively being chased only adds fuel to that fire. It's like he's wearing a badge at this point, but hiding it behind a microphone. Comedian Godfrey even jumped in, mocking the whole thing. He did a fake Vlad impression, pretending to interview a prisoner on the run, asking questions like, what was it like to escape? And where are you living now? Then he paused, turned serious, and asked, are you with the feds? The joke landed hard because it felt too real. If you've watched enough Vlad interviews, you know how it goes. He doesn't tiptoe around anything. He dives straight into the darkest, most incriminating parts of people's lives. Not the music, not the art, just the crime, the beefs, the bodies. That's what makes this moment even worse. It's not about storytelling anymore. It's not about journalism. It's about exploitation. These inmates are living a real-life nightmare. Whether they broke out because they were innocent, scared, or just desperate, they are now fugitives. Their freedom is hanging by a thread. And instead of offering legal help or just staying out of the way, Vlad decided to offer them a camera and a mic. As if that's going to help their situation. As if becoming a meme or a legend is worth the risk of being caught. And let's not forget, this isn't even the first time Vlad has been called out. He's been labeled a culture vulture, a colonizer, and worse. Critics say he profits off of black trauma, black crime, and black pain. They say he's turned hip-hop into a true crime circus. He doesn't focus on the music, the creativity, or the culture. He focuses on the mugshots, on the gun charges, on the losses. That's his lane. And for a while it worked. He built a platform. He got views. He went viral over and over again. But this time, it feels like he crossed the line. Because this isn't a rapper looking to promote an album. This isn't a retired gangster telling old stories. This is a group of men who are actively being hunted, who might go back to prison for the rest of their lives, who might even die if things go wrong during their capture. And for Vlad to step into that and say, hey, come tell your story so I can get a few more clicks. It's tone deaf at best. And at worst, it feels like bait. And the wild part? He genuinely thought it was a good idea. He believed these men would see his tweet and think, this is my shot. He thought they'd pause in the middle of hiding out to reach for a phone and slide into his DMs. Like they'd risk everything just to sit on a couch and talk to Vlad about their prison escape. That level of ego is hard to wrap your head around. It's not just confidence, it's delusion. It's thinking your platform is bigger than reality. Sensei R.I.P., one of the voices behind Forgotten Kings TV, laid it out clearly. He didn't pull any punches. He said Vlad was down bad. He said Vlad was proving exactly why people call him out. And he reminded everyone that this wasn't hip-hop anymore. This was real life, real men, real consequences. These inmates aren't thinking about interviews. They're thinking about survival, about staying out of sight, about not getting shot or caught or killed. Even the people in the comments had enough. They dragged Vlad from every angle. One person said it was such a dumb idea, only a white person could think of it. Another joked that Vlad was trying to collect the reward money himself, $5,000 per inmate. Others just called it what it was. Exploitation, plain and simple. There's no journalistic integrity in this. There's no noble cause. It's a play for views, for likes, for shares. And even if he didn't mean any harm, the harm is still there. What's worse is that Vlad doesn't seem to understand why people are mad. He acts surprised when people call him a vulture. He plays victim. He says he's just doing interviews. But come on, he knows what he's doing.